Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Monday, November 8th, 2020, Lebanon Board of Works meeting. Our first order of business will be the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we'll now move on to the roll call members. Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Mayor Gentry.
Present.
Becky McClure.
Present.
Bill Stoner.
Present.
Dick Robertson.
Present.
Alan Milburn.
Present.
Okay, now move on to the approval of the minutes. Are there any changes to the minutes as proposed? Would entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
We have a motion approved from Bill. Is there a second? Second. Motion and a second from Judge McClure. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? These minutes are approved. All right, move on to department head reports. First up would be Police Department. Chief Morgan.
Good evening, board members. Since our last meeting, the Lebanon Police Department has responded to 552 calls for service, and 19 people were arrested for the following crimes. 3 for operating while intoxicated, 8 were wanted on a warrant, 3 for possession of meth, 1 for battery, 1 for auto theft, 1 for driving while suspended, and 2 for domestic battery. In that same time frame, 14 handgun permits were sent off to the state for final approval. Assistant Chief Bales and Officer Brown completed a course on assisting individuals in crisis and group intervention. The course is designated to provide students some tools to help fellow responders deal with some of the emotional fallout from serious calls that they respond to. Officer Braxton DuBois completed his recertification for breath test operator. Then on the 3rd of November, LPD hosted Stop the Bleed again. This class was put on by some nurses from St. Vincent. And at the end of the class, they give you this kit that contains some tools that can help stop the bleed on some serious traumatic injuries to help save lives. That's all I have.
Okay. Thank you, Chief. Any questions for the Chief on the board? Anything from the public? Okay. Thank you, sir. Next up would be Fire Department, Deputy Chief Wiry.
Good evening, Board. Since the last Board of Works meeting, Lebanon Fire has made 126 emergency calls for service, logged 182 hours of training, performed 6 commercial pre-plans, and completed 46 commercial inspections. This week, the LFD is hosting the Avon Washington Township Fire Academy, which we have 2 recruits in. We're doing live fire evolutions all week at the Boone County Training Tower. I was out there all day today. Our 2 recruits are doing very well in the class, and they were doing hose advancement drills today in no smoke conditions, but tomorrow we're going to throw a little heat to them, and they're going to be doing evolutions with live fire tomorrow. So it's great that every time we have an opportunity to be with our recruits and the partnerships that we make with the surrounding departments that help us out with this the recruit class and getting the training for the guys. So last week, the crews performed rope rescue training Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at U.S. Cold Storage. U.S. Cold Storage is a great partner of ours. They've helped us with our ropes program, purchasing a lot of rope equipment for rope rescue and things like that for us. But we did a high-angle rescue scenario in minus 10 degrees, about 75 foot in the air. And we would like to thank U.S. Cold Storage again for the opportunity to train in the facility. I think this year that's the 3rd training that we've hosted, or that U.S. Cold Storage has hosted us. Once we went off the side of the building, and then the other 2 have been in the racking systems inside. So they are great community partner, and I appreciate all that they've done for the fire department also. Our annual equipment testing has been completed for 2021. This test involves mask fit testing, flow testing of air packs, ladder testing, hose testing, rescue tool testing, and pump testing of all of our apparatus, and that's been completed with minor repairs needed. We've got a couple valves on an engine that need to be redone, but nothing big and alarming coming out of any of our testing of our equipment this year. So that's all I have.
Thank you, Chief. Any questions for Deputy Chief Wiry? Anything from the public? Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next up, Parks Department, John Messenger.
Good evening. We will be clearing up the beds in Parks and Gene Haas along with downtown. You will see downtown transform in Main Street, transform into a Christmas wonderland in the next week. So all the lights will be going up in preparation for the upcoming holidays. We have closed the conservation pond at Abner Longley for the season, along with winterizing the drinking fountains, and plan to keep Abner Longley and Memorial Park's the restroom by the playground open as long as weather permits. The restroom in Memorial Park by the baseball field will remain open all year as it is heated. Lori Frost and I attended the World Water Park Association Conference in mid-October. We attended classes on safety trainings, staffing, maintenance, team building, recruitment, water park design, development and expansion, along with roundtable discussions. We came away with many new fresh ideas which we will implement and use to build on the success and expansion of the water park. We also held an aqua conference ourselves today. We were fortunate enough to use Casey Sampson's entertainment room there at downtown. Very nice setting. We had people from Carmel, Zionsville, as far as Columbia City, also Marion, about 20 to 20 plus water parks that came in. It's a great way to network, and we really had a great day, successful. We were also had a nice lunch, which was provided by Brews next door. Everybody was just amazed by the food, but not only that, but our setting downtown. They just really went on and on. Avon is also building a water park and copying off of us. They're putting a wave pool in, and they were there and really enjoyed learning so much that we did today. I want to thank Lori Frost and our team, of course Taylor and Allison, for helping us put that on today. And also a shout out to Cornerstone, which provided funding for the lunches and the setting, so appreciate that. The water park is we're finished winterizing it, and we will have torn out all the expansion joints and replaced the backing and caulking on the pool deck. It's been 8 years. You probably should do that about 5, but it's held up real well, so we're finally getting around to that. We will be planting over 15 memorial trees within the next week throughout both parks. When the ground is a little more solid, we will be cutting down several dead or dying and diseased trees. Come out to Memorial Park on Saturday, December 4th for Christmas in the Cabin and our Christmas parade. Unfortunately, all carriage rides are booked, but you may enter the cabin with your child to see Santa and Mrs. Claus and enjoy hot chocolate and cookies. The Christmas parade will begin at 6 p.m. We had 2 carriages. They just fill up so fast, and wish we could do more. Unfortunately, time just doesn't allow us to. Upcoming events: Boone County Boys and Girls Club L Gravy Chase, November 25th at 8 a.m. Rob Shine will be leading the pack at all of it. It's a great cause. It goes to the Boys and Girls Club in Boone County. Come out if you can before you veg out on all the turkey and all that. Great event, and hope you all can make it.
Thanks, John. Any questions for John from the board? Any questions for the public? Okay. Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Next up, Engineering Department, Cameron Kulik.
Thank you. Good evening. Engineering report for today. Since I was last here, I was on vacation at the last meeting, so I hope you didn't mind me submitting my report via writing. But getting into the project updates, pavement resurfacing, community crossing programs. Our 2021 resurfacing program is nearly complete. We're just waiting on striping, which is tentatively scheduled tomorrow and through the rest of the week. It is weather pending. We did need temperatures in the 50s, but it looks like we will have a window here to try to get the rest of our striping done and wrap up the 2021 paving program. Also happy to report that we were successful in another community crossing award. We got word last week that we were awarded just shy of $1 million, $999,530.55. We will be applying that to our 2022 resurfacing program. There are 10 streets involved, totaling about 8.7 miles. We're working on some of the sections of Chadwick, on Grant Boulevard, Dale Court, and Travis Drive. We are also looking at the Tradewind subdivision, Finch Boulevard, Finch Court, Acton Road, Snyder Lane. And then we've kind of got some frontage road projects, particularly Perryworth Road, Indianapolis Road, and Ransdell Road. So again, about 8.7 miles. All in all, about $2 million of the road paving. We've got a preliminary award of roughly $1 million, and we'll be going to bidding on those things in the coming days so that we can get our budgets and our program finalized for next year. On that note, our street resurfacing bid packages will go out on Friday. We will be opening them on December 13th. I would like to ask for a special meeting on December 17th. Usually our second meeting in December is canceled, and this year I believe it's the week of Christmas. So we were hoping to have a special meeting on the 17th. It'd be a very quick meeting just to actually issue the notice to award after we open the bid packages on that Monday. So mark that on your calendars. We'll be in touch about scheduling that special meeting. But a regular scheduled meeting on the 13th to open bids, and then hopefully a special meeting on the 17th to award a bid. We're also, as you all are aware, we're working on our road impact fee ordinance. That plan is in place, or the plan is finalized, excuse me. We'll be in front of the Plan Commission meeting next week, where they will be forwarding that with a recommendation to the City Council, and the City Council will hopefully be hearing adoption ordinances on the 22nd and the 13th of December, and then we'll start the time clock for when we can start collecting road impact fees. Whit Road Bridge, nothing really to update there. Just remind everyone that the construction has been delayed due to utility relocations. It will be scheduled in June and be completed by August, so we'll do it outside of the school calendar. The Elmwood Bridge, the construction plans and permitting are still moving forward on that. Nothing new to update there. While we're talking about bridges, it's that time of year for our annual yearly inspection on the State Road 39 bridge. That will be conducted tomorrow evening and Wednesday evening. And hopefully we'll have another good report. Last year there were no deficiencies found. We hope we'll have a similar report this year, and then maybe we can be successful in petitioning the state to go to a 2-year inspection cycle. Grant Street, the RFP for inspection services was issued back in early October. We did receive letters of interest on November 1st. 12 responses received. That's a huge response. So we were hoping to award later tonight, but we're going to take a little longer because there's a lot of documentation to read and go through, and that will be before you on the 22nd. Right-of-way offers are moving forward, and remind everyone that that project will bid on March 9th with construction in April, wrapping up in November. Right around the corner, Fordyce Street, we held an open house in conjunction with the school corporation to talk about our plans for Fordyce Road and how they are intertwining with what will essentially be a new central elementary school to be built at the northwest corner of Fordyce and John Bart. That went well. Everyone in attendance seemed to be generally positive. We are scheduling a second open house to be held in this building on the 18th at 7 p.m., where we're going to hear some specific concerns for the residents that sort of live between East Street and Grant Street, where we're looking to construct a new path.
What's the date again, Kevin?
November 18th.
18th.
So a week from...
Will that be here? Or?
It will be here. It'll be in the room behind us there at 7 p.m.
Okay.
And we have personally invited all the residents, but it is open to the public, open house for anyone that might want to come and learn more. Remind everyone, Fordyce is tentatively at this point now, I'm going to say it's 2024 project, when we'll be ready for that project to move forward. Big Four Trail expansion, we held our pre-bid meeting last week. Unfortunately, it's not a mandatory pre-bid meeting. We did not have any contractors show up. I don't think that's any sign of less interest, though. I believe there's 6, as of that date, there are already 6 contractors holding sets of plans and other bidding documents, so we anticipate a good turnout when it comes to bid opening, which is scheduled for your next meeting on the 22nd. with construction beginning in the spring of '22. And later this evening, we have for your consideration an RFP for inspection services, where we would like to open those responses on the 13th. And if indeed we do have a special meeting on the 17th of December, we'd like to put that on the agenda as well. So it'll be two quick things we'd like to award in December before we break for the holidays. And that would be the bid packages for the street resurfacing program for next year, and then the inspection services for the Big Four Trail. Stone Eater Park judicial review findings are expected by year's end, so we're just in a holding pattern at this time. Other development projects there's a lot, too many to mention. I won't bother you boring all the details. A lot of new projects coming forward. A lot of new coordination that we're having with developers and utility providers. So there's a lot going on there, needless to say. A couple of other things that are forthcoming. The federal call for funding for the 2027 fiscal year is out. We are looking at submitting two projects. One would be Witt Road from Lafayette Avenue north to and including the intersection of Austin Drive. We've submitted in the past couple of years the 250 North project, and we've not been successful, I think 3 times in a row. So we're going to take a different approach and look at the other end of that corridor that we think is a key corridor for the city as it begins to grow, and see if we can't be successful in getting some federal dollars associated with that project. And then the second project, no surprise, will be Grant Street Phase 2, so that we can tee that up for an extension of the Phase 1 project that would go all the way from Washington Street south to and including the intersection with Indianapolis Avenue, State Road 32. That's all I have.
Thank you, Kevin. Any questions for Kevin from the board? Anything from the public? Okay. Thank you, sir. Next up is Planning Department, Ben Bodtrigger.
Good evening, board members. Planning Department activity for the last couple of weeks continue to remain very active. As Kevin mentioned, there's a lot of projects going on right now, so our building inspectors are staying busy. They did about another 75 inspections over the last couple of weeks, so they're still averaging about 7 to 8 inspections a day. Definitely staying busy both on the residential and commercial side. We also issued 16 additional permits, including 1 new home permit, so that's still, we're still seeing some good activity there. And then we're also seeing some non-residential activity and commercial activity as well coming up. So expect to see some additional new projects coming through, keeping us busy throughout the winter. One project to note, the Pavement building over here on South Lebanon Street, we do expect the demo to start on the old New Life building sometime this week. At least that's what I've heard from the developers, so we're hoping to see that. There'll be good activity we'll see over the winter time to get prepped for that construction next spring. On the code enforcement side, again, still very active. Their activities remain strong over the last couple of weeks, and they'll continue to remain very active throughout the wintertime. Again, as always, if anybody has any questions about any projects that are happening right now they're just concerned about or have questions about, or have any issues that code enforcement might be able to address for them, please always contact the Planning and Zoning Office. We'd be happy to address those for you. With that, that's all I really have this time.
Thank you, Ben. Any questions for Ben? Dick?
Anything happening down south with the 2,000-acre development?
Waterford? Yeah, we're working feverishly right now on starting the conceptual design for the utilities, and also figuring out then the financing associated with that. We're talking about big projects and big numbers, but yeah, we expect them then also to probably file their first section of development probably before the end of the year, maybe January at the latest.
I saw some big white stakes out in the field out there.
Yeah, they've been doing a lot of due diligence. And I know their engineer is starting to work on some of the conceptual layouts. I think they're probably on rendition number about 32 of the golf course layout. And so as soon as they get that dictates the entire neighborhood. So as soon as they get that golf course laid out, they'll start preparing those other plans. But
yeah,
we do expect something in the next couple months, maybe 3 months on the outside.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, that's another project. We'll see a lot of activity next year. The sports facility down at State Road 39, a lot of activity end of this year and moving into next year too. So.
Good.
Any other questions for Ben from the board? Anything from the public? Thank you, sir. Next is Street and Stormwater Department, Dave Newell.
How's everybody doing tonight? We mowed some easements and picked up the trash. We got our vacant lots mowed, hopefully for the last time for the season. Just depends on the weather. More than likely it could be. Definitely been busy keeping the catch basins clean of debris, mostly leaves this time of year, you know. So it's a constant battle with that. But we're still trying to wrap up a few big stormwater projects. The ditch dredging in Chadwick, we're just kind of waiting on the water to settle down, he told me. So hopefully this week he can get on that. And then a Lafayette Avenue project we're doing right there kind of by the shop, Riley Road and Lafayette Avenue. So we're going to stage for that one this week too, so hopefully we can knock both those out and pretty much wrap up some big stormwater projects this year. Got all the barricades dropped off and picked up from Mischief on Meridian. That seemed like a pretty good event for them, so that was really good. The leaves are starting to change and fall now, so we would want to remind everybody to try to keep them between the curb and sidewalk so they don't flood the streets. Like if we get the rain Thursday, if they're out in the street, it just washes them down to the drains, and then it's a nightmare for everybody. So if we can just keep them up there, that helps a lot. And I know some places, you can't help it, but if you got the option, it'd be nice if you could keep them between the curb and sidewalk. That's all we ask. Also, we have already found some big steel rods and stuff in the leaf piles this year. We just remind people that, if you destroy the machine, it's kind of hard to pick up your leaves. So it just costs us more money to fix. So, just try to keep your brush separate, and it's definitely anything. It's just leaves. That's all we can pick up, really, is just leaves. So just keep it separate, and which hopefully we get through leaf season. We maybe can hopefully come back and get some more brush. We're just going to depend on the snow on that. Really, it's out of our hands right now. But speaking of snow, we do have 7 trucks set up ready to roll just in case, so we don't get caught. 4 of those trucks are dragging around leaf machines, so they don't have plows set up on them yet, but we do have 7 if something happened where we could get out and at least, it'd take a little longer, but we could get it done. So don't panic if you see snow this weekend. We're ready. Ready as we'll ever be.
You're saying that word a lot. I don't like that.
I don't care. We don't see it at all. No offense. We want to let Bob Stevens and his family know we're thinking about him. His daughter was in a serious accident, so she's got a long road to recovery, but we're here for him and hopefully she gets better. And that's all we have.
Thank you, Dave. Any questions for Dave? Al?
Yeah, David, I have a question.
Sure.
Several months ago, you mentioned that there was going to be some stickers, some blue stickers or something put on the stormwater drains, or...
I think that was Scott, but yeah.
Yeah, has that program been implemented, and is that...
I know they did some of them, but I'm not sure if they've got...
Yeah, it's probably a question for Kevin, actually.
The program is ongoing. It's going to take some time to put a sticker on everyone.
Yeah.
Right now it's sort of it's filler work when we don't have a lot going on. We anticipate as we get into winter,
Right.
Some of the construction inspection work will slow down, so we'll be able to spend a little bit more time on that. As much as we can, as the weather will allow. And then, of course, we anticipate a lot of construction activity in the spring, so we'll just have to play that by ear and see how we can get that done.
That was good for when we had our intern as well, correct?
Yes.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Dave from the board? Anything from the public? Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And communications and development, Ben, do you have that, or Kevin has that? Filling in for Joe.
I have it. Filling in for Joe. Communications report for November 8th. Murals. The Lafayette Avenue Ocean Escape mural is underway. The sunken ship is complete. Message in a Bottle is ongoing. The Community Creation Day was held on this past weekend on the 6th. Solid attendance, Joe says. More days are planned, weather permitting, in the near future. Process for the next mural location and design is ahead. And I expect to hear about more creation days in the days to come, and also on a variety of different creative mediums. Video creation update. Apparently we've had some issues with the current software and the components struggling to keep up with some of the video editing work that Joe is doing. Major issues happened last week. Work was delayed. Progress on work was lost. Very frustrating, as it says here. IT is upgrading the community development PC, Joe's PC, for faster video editing and easier exporting of future videos. And next up, this will lead to flashover chamber and the LPD emergency vehicle operations tracking training. I'm not sure exactly what those are. Don't ask. I'll have to wait for Joe to come back. But additional video creation systems in place and working towards. Then drone training, progress has begun on drone certification with the goal of obtaining FAA certification for use in quality of live videos, updates, and promotions for the city. That's all I have from Joe.
Okay, thank you, Kevin. Thanks for filling in. Okay, that concludes department head reports, so we'll move on to old business. Is there anything from the board? Okay, nothing on my agenda either, so we'll move on to new business then. First item up is a road closure request for the Christmas parade. Missy Krulik from the Heart of Lebanon.
Hi, Missy Krulik with the Heart of Lebanon. First of all, I wanted to thank the City of Lebanon and its departments for the help on Mischief on Meridian. I know we utilized help with barricades and cones and trash, and then also the Lebanon Police Department and the Fires Departments handed out candy that night. So thank you to the city for your help with Mischief on Meridian. It was a great success, so we're thankful for our partners. Second, I'm here to request a street closure for Christmas on the Square. That event will happen December 4th from 4 to 8 p.m. We'll have the Lebanon City Market. We'll host sweet treats. We'll have live reindeer, live performances by Chad Brown, crowning of the Snowflake Princess, a performance by local organizations. You'll be able to view the Lebanon Parks Department Christmas Parade. You'll be able to witness the City of Lebanon's tree lighting event, and then visit with Santa and more. So I'm here to request a street closure for that event. So what we're planning on doing is having the Lebanon City Market will be on Main Street. Then we'll have the tree lighting, music, and the live reindeer on Meridian Street, and then the kids' activities on Washington Street. The Lebanon Public Library is planning to be open for kids' activities as well. So we wanted to include them. So what I'm asking is for street closure from 3 p.m. to 9 p.m., just an hour before the event, an hour after. On Meridian Street from Main to Washington, Washington Street from Meridian to East Street, and Main Street from Lebanon Street to Meridian Street. So those we've done this in the past where we've kept that intersection open using pedestrian barriers, so it provides for parking for the event, and we just don't need to utilize all that space. So those intersections will still be open.
Okay. Any questions from the board concerning that? Okay, we'll entertain a motion then to approve the road closure request as presented.
I make a motion, we approve the street closure as presented.
We have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, that is approved. Thank you, Missy. Okay, next up would be a road closure request from Brews. Patrick Clues?
Hi, this Sunday from, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. We would like to close Washington Street on the side of Brews, basically from the corner of Meridian and Washington Street to the alley just behind our building. We have an opportunity to do fouling, if anybody's familiar with that. So it's, how would you describe it? Football and bowling pins, sorry. So, yeah, we were approached to put on like a fouling tournament, coincided with the Colts game. We worked on trying to get Joey Chestnut to make an appearance. He can't make it this time, but yeah, we're just continuing to drive people to come downtown and experience what Brews can offer, and so yeah.
And to clarify, this is, you said Sunday, so November 14th, is that correct?
The 14th, yep.
Okay. Okay. Any questions for that?
Meridian to where?
Essentially to the alley on...
To the alley?
Yeah, just basically on
That half block.
Half block, that half block.
Yeah.
Any questions from the board? Okay. Would entertain a motion to approve the road closure as presented.
I make a motion that we approve the road closure as presented.
We have a motion to approve from Alan. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second from Bill. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That is approved. Thank you, Patrick.
Thank you.
Look through it. Okay, next up would be a standard operating guidelines amendment from the Lebanon Police Department policy change. We have Chief Morgan for this.
Good evening again. Another policy change. So this one is going to be on our control devices. It's in our use of force. We added pepper balls again. We used to have them back when Rick Hale was chief 17 years ago. And those ones quit functioning, so we purchased some this year. So we had to include them into our use of force, into our new policies. I can give you the Cliff Notes version. I can read. I believe the mayor sent out a copy to all of you.
Cliff Notes is fine.
I'm sorry?
Cliff Notes is fine.
Okay. So the first part is going to talk about the actual projectile, the plastic sphere that contains the OC powder in it. The first part of the policy on that is going to describe it. The next part talks about where the officers should avoid hitting people with them, which is the head, neck, spine, and groin area. The pepper ball does shoot out. It has to shoot out hard enough that it breaks the plastic in order for the powder to work. So we try to avoid the head, neck, spine, and groin. So it talks about that. And then the next part is if an officer does deploy a pepper ball, the policy says that he has to notify a supervisor. And then the supervisor then has to make sure the reports are done, logged, and then he notifies up the chain of command. Then each time the pepper ball is deployed, it has to be documented. And even if you aim a pepper ball platform at somebody, it has to be documented also, whether it's used or not. So that's the gist of it. In your paper that the mayor sent you, it would be the highlighted. It's just an addition. It's not a change to the policy other than adding the highlighted version.
And to clarify too, this was written by the Lexipol, the people that helped us redo all of our SOGs as well.
Yes, yep. This is done by attorneys. They tell us what the best practice is across the nation. And we try to follow it the best we can. Some of their stuff doesn't actually work for a city our size, but they give us the best practice that's going on nationwide.
Any questions for Chief about that? No? Okay. Then I would entertain a motion to approve the standard operating guidelines amendment as presented.
I'll make a motion that we approve the SOG amendment for the Lebanon Police Department as presented.
Motion to approve, is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second, I think, from Bill. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, that is approved. Thank you, Chief. Thank you. Okay, next up will be bid authorization, 2022 street resurfacing program. Kevin Krulik.
Thank you. I mentioned this earlier in my report. I'm just looking for authorization to issue bid documents and start the bidding process for our 2022 resurfacing program, which will be just in line with our community crossing award we just received.
Any questions for Kevin on this?
No.
Then I would entertain a motion to authorize Kevin to seek bids for our 2022 street resurfacing program.
I make a motion we approve the bid authorization for 2022 street resurfacing program.
We have a motion from Bill. Is there a second? Motion and second from Judge McClure. All those here say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, that's approved. Thank you, Kevin. And don't go far. 2022 material supply.
Yep, thank you. We do this every year. This is a material supply bid that we do primarily for our street department that covers everything from the purchase of concrete and asphalt to stone material, and then also some minor repair work that we would use for sidewalk repairs, street patching, block patching. This is also the same program that we use to perform our active living sidewalk program as well. So just looking for your authorization to, once again, issue bid documents for that package, and we'll get those out by Friday, and then be opening those same timeline as our street resurfacing program on the 13th of December.
Okay. Then I would entertain a motion to authorize Kevin to seek bids for our 2022 material supply.
I make a motion, we approve the bid authorization for 2022 material supply.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion a second from Alan. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That is approved. All right, and third time the charm.
Yep, one more time, asking for your permission, your authorization to seek professional services in association with our Big Four Trail construction project. This would be for consultants to perform inspection services associated with that construction activity.
Any questions for Kevin on that? Just clarify too, this is separate from the design contract, so this will actually be the inspection of the actual construction. So, would entertain a motion to authorize Kevin to seek requests for proposals for the Big Four Trail construction inspection services.
I'll make a motion, we authorize Kevin to seek professional services for construction inspection for the Big Four Trail.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion a second from Bill. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, that is approved. Thank you, Kevin. And do you want to just stay up and do section, the Sunbrook, while you're up there?
If you'd like, sure.
Okay. Let's do the performance bond release monumentation for Sunbrook Section 1.
Yep. These are for survey monuments that control the plat, particularly where the location of the streets are. So these are the street centerline survey monuments. We've inspected those. They're all in place. And this is not something that we feel like we need to accept maintenance bonds on. Performance is good enough. Once the survey monuments are set, they generally don't go anywhere. So we are just asking for your permission to issue the release of the performance bond associated with monumentation of Sunbrook Section 1.
Any questions from the board on that? Okay. Then I would entertain a motion to release the performance bond on the monumentation for Sunbrook Section 1.
I'll make a motion, we release the performance bond for the monuments in Sunnybrook Section 1.
Okay, we have motions. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion a second from Alan. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Those are approved. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you.
Okay. And next up would be a bid award recommendations for site lighting for Memorial Park. John Messenger.
Good evening again. I think I'll go a different direction as far as the purchase of the playground equipment. I think I need to get authorization. What I've done in the past is go to the park board, but since the entity, Rob and I had discussed this, since the entity funding source is the council, I need to go through the Board of Works versus the park board because they did not have the funding. The funding is coming from the council. So I need approval for purchase of playground equipment through the Board of Works. Is that
For the playground equipment or for the lighting?
for both, purchase of the playground equipment and purchase of the lighting equipment?
You want to do it separate?
And to clarify, John, you're seeking to award these contracts, right, to the lowest,
Yes.
most responsive and responsible bidders in these?
For the direct purchase of those, yes. Now, I spoke with Chris in your office, and yes.
Yeah, but I think, just for the board, my understanding, just way of background, right, you've already proceeded down the path to obtain quotes, and now what you're asking this board to do is to make a determination based on your recommendation to award these quotes to the lowest, most responsive and responsible quoter, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
So let's do the lighting one first. That's how we have it on the agenda. So what was the company that we selected or that you were recommending?
Yes, for the lighting?
Yes.
The ESL Spectrum?
ESL
Yes.
Spectrum. Okay. Then, so I would entertain a motion to approve the selection of ESL Spectrum for the materials for the direct purchase of the,
Do we have a number?
do you have a number for it, John?
Yes, I do. It's, yeah. I apologize.
Oh, yeah, all right. I just thought we need to read that number in the record.
Yeah.
That's great. 1 second. For the direct purchase of the lighting, it would be, yeah, I've got that all together. Hang on 1 second more. Of course, I don't have it right handy. Need more paperwork. 299. There we go. I apologize. Lighting, the direct purchase would be $264,165.34.
Okay.
Read that again.
$264,165.34.
Okay.
Any questions from the board on that?
No.
Okay. Then I would entertain a motion then to approve the recommendation of the direct purchase of the lighting material from ESL Spectrum for an amount not to exceed $264,165.34.
I make a motion, we approve the selection of ESL Spectrum for the lighting for Memorial Park.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second from Bill. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
Thank you.
approved.
The other would be for the playground equipment. Direct purchase is Little Tykes, and that would be for $299,948.46. That's $299,948.46.
And this
who was
is-
that again, John?
Excuse me?
Who was that
Little-
again?
Little Tykes.
Little Tyke?
Little Tykes.
Little Tykes.
And this is for the all-inclusive playground, to
That's
clarify?
for the all-inclusive playground, yes, sir.
All right. Any questions for that from the board?
No.
Okay, this time then I would entertain a motion to approve the recommendation or the selection of Little Tykes for the playground equipment purchase for an amount of $299,948.46, pending, subject to funding and legal approval.
I'll make a motion to approve that as presented.
We have a motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second from Dick.
Okay.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? All right, those are approved. Thank you, John. Thank you. And actually, going back on our previous one, hey, Mia,
Sorry.
who made the motion on the lighting? Was that Dick?
Yeah, I think I did, yeah.
Dick, can you amend that recommendation or motion and make it subject to funding approval, funding and legal approval as well? I should have mentioned that.
We can add that
We have
to
a
that,
motion to
yeah.
amend. Is there a second?
Yeah.
Motion and a second to amend the proposal. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
Thank you, Mayor.
All right, just want to make sure those bases were covered. Yep, thank you, Dick.
Yeah.
Okay. Alan made the motion on the first. Yep. Okay, last item up here. So this is mine here. You may not know this, but we currently are contract with the Ray's trash service for the city. It's been, let's call it quite some time since we've sought proposals on that, and Ray's has told us they've needed to start increasing the rate they're charging us. So that would essentially need us to seek new trash service contract for the city. And so that will help us then move that process forward. So at this time, I would need to seek the board authorization for the city to seek requests for proposals for trash and recycling services for the city.
I'll make the motion that we approve authorizations to advertise for trash and recycling services.
Okay. We have a motion to seek bids for trash and recycling. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second from Bill. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, I will let you know once we have those back from that. Okay, that concludes what I have for new business. Is there anything else from the board? Okay, we'll move on to claims then, and we'll entertain a motion concerning the claims.
Make a motion, we approve the claims.
We have a motion to approve the claims from Bill. Is there a second? Second. Motion and a second from Judge McClure. All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed? All right, claims are approved. Any announcements or discussion? Okay, then I would...
Motion we adjourn.
We have a motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second to adjourn from Alan. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, we are adjourned. Our next meeting will be November 22nd at 6:15 PM. The redevelopment commission is up next.